All right, let's do this. Welcome one, welcome all to The Chronic Atheist, the podcast where a manic depressive, non-binary atheist talks about life, the universe, and everything. Unfiltered, more or less uncut, more or less, and with no pretension of regular episodes, because it's been a hot minute. This podcast, like essentially everything else on the Mayhem and Foolishness Network, www.mayhemandfoolishnessproductions.com, is absolutely, positively, under no circumstances whatsoever for children, because the librarian is sweary and encourages you to be too. You have been warned. All right. Say it with me, y'all. Bases covered? Bases covered. So that means I can drop the podcaster voice, right? Oh my God. Some idioms never leave you, do they? Look, I'm an atheist, an out atheist, a loud and obnoxious and loathed in certain corners of the internet atheist. But I don't know how to convey the same sense of borderline resigned, almost despair that you can convey with just a deep breath, a half laugh, and a just barely above a gasp, oh my God. Oh my God. Y'all, it's Friday, the 19th of November, 2021. Which means two things. One, come to find out, it's been almost a year since our last episode, and why any of y'all are still sticking around for this mess, I will be absolutely damned if I know. And y'all, two, it's only been a handful of hours since Kyle Rittenhouse was found not guilty on all charges. And how that's possible, I will be absolutely damned if I know. What are we going to do? And I'm fucking white. Y'all, not to put too fine a point on it, I am white as the goddamn sour cream on Grandma's table. Human beings with more melanin than I have been asking this same exact question time out of motherfucking mind. What are we going to do? It's like the goddamn t-shirt floating around. You've seen it. You know, you can probably quote it with me. If you're listening to this, you can probably quote it with me. We march. You know the thing. I'm sorry. I've had a couple of drinks. It's taken a couple of drinks and a goddamn effort of will to get me back into the chair to record here. You know, y'all we march. Y'all say stop. We stand. Y'all say kneel. We kneel. Y'all say stand. I'm absolutely fucking butchering it, but y'all know the t-shirt I'm talking about. You've seen it on Twitter, on Instagram, on every other place. This is not how I wanted to come back to the podcast. I had a plan, goddammit, and I was going to come back with that plan this weekend. I had ideas. There were stuff. Yeah, English good. I went to college, goddammit. Yes, I'm smoking a cigarette. I warned everybody at the beginning this was not for children. I know this is rambly and stream of consciousness, even by junk shop library standards, but oh my God, what are we going to do? What? I am not surprised at this verdict, and yet somehow I am surprised. I am horrified at this verdict, and yet somehow it hardly makes me blink an eye. I could go on with these tedious dualities forever, and I still would not manage to convey our collective frustration and annoyance and fury and rage and sense of collective and individual helplessness. We have petitioned, we have written letters, we have marched in the streets, we have died, and nobody fucking cares. You can... The gun problem is a problem. I will lose followers over this. I will lose acquaintances over this. I will lose friends over this. But we must do something in the United States of America to curb the availability of weapons. Because if we do not, there is no way to curb the death toll from weapons. I've never been shy on this podcast or in any of the other platforms at which I have essayed and failed. I've never been ashamed of admitting when something frightens me. I live in Memphis, Tennessee. It is not a peaceful utopia by any standard, by anybody's standards, by any stretch of the imagination. It is the 19th of November, 2021. We're deep into pandemic time, and I have been terribly, terribly depressed for a very long time. As a result of which, I do not honestly remember if it was yesterday or the day before. But a rap artist called Young Dolph was murdered here in Memphis, Tennessee, in a less than salubrious part of town, on his way into a cookie shop to buy some cookies. Makeda's is an institution in this town. It is a haven for people who just want to get some cookies, goddammit. Ms. Makeda would not be happy of me phrasing it that way, but Lord have fucking mercy, it's a cookie restaurant. And this poor guy, I don't even know how old he was. I didn't know who he was before 2 days ago. I don't listen to rap music. I'm sorry, it's not my thing. I'm a heavy metal guy, and a power metal guy. I'm a rock music person. I'm not particularly into rap or hip hop. But Young Dolph got out of his car, walked up to the door of Makeda's Butter Cookies down on Airways, and somebody shot him. That's it. That's all she wrote. That's the end of the story. That's it. The gun problem is a real problem. People die all the time. Seems like every day in America we have a mass shooting. Those hardly even make the news anymore because we're so goddamn acclimatized to them. Individual deaths by gun violence? You're lucky if you find a news story anywhere in the depths of the internet about an individual shooting. Mass shootings hardly make the news anymore. The gun problem is a real problem. And if we want to survive, we've got to do something about it. I know the example is tired, but wasn't it Australia that had one mass shooting back in the 90s and just sort of up and decided to ban fucking handguns? And everybody said, yeah, you're right. The gun problem is a real problem. This is a frightening time to be alive. A scary time to be alive. And it has been. I'm 37 years old. I was a kid in Paducah, Kentucky, when the Heath High School shooting took place. I knew a guy who was injured, thankfully, not badly, not fatally, in that occurrence. We spoke the next day. But I know people who are not all that much younger than I, who do not remember the first big newsworthy shooting of which they were aware. Because it's just kind of a thing. It's, it happens, you deal with it, you move on. Hopefully nobody you know all that well dies too horribly. It's just a thing. Mass shootings. Welcome to America. Fact of life. Land of the free. Home of the free gift with purchase. One of these days, you might get banged out of existence. You know how it is. It's the risks you take. It comes with the territory. We can't go on like this forever. We can't. This is a nightmare. Especially when someone like, I wasn't going to say the name. And you know what? I don't think I'm going to. I'm going to take a lesson from that movie Spree that came out a couple of years ago. The premise of Spree is that this kid with an Instagram account goes on a rampage and starts doing murders and streaming them live on Instagram because he hopes it will make him Instagram famous, and he hasn't been able to get Instagram famous any other way. The movie goes on and on and on, and then it ends. There's a bit just before the credits roll that sort of extrapolates how such an event might be treated in today's various subcultures. And it includes screenshots from Reddit and a multitude of other things, which are just as terrifying as you might think such things might be. But there's something that has stuck with me from that closing montage, which is a flash of the first page of a New Yorker article called "Why We Don't Say His Name." You with me? You've got it. If you've listened this long, you've got it. You get it. You can follow where I'm rambling. I've been torn this afternoon and this evening over whether to go on a full-on screed and nail my 95 theses to the door. If you've been with me a while, you'll appreciate the reference. Yeah, that subtle, deep-cut reference. Yeah, I know. Or whether to try to vague it up a little. I think I've decided what side I come down on. I think I come down on the side of why we don't say his name. Not with a bang, but a whimper. Let him trail off into obscurity. Let entropy take him. Let us all, as quickly as we can, and some of us have the luxury of that being very, very quickly. There are people whose lives he destroyed. There are people whose lives he ended. There are people whose families he broke. Let us abandon him to the darkness of history as quickly as we can. That kid is not worth remembering. What we need to do, though, is make sure that he doesn't happen again. One asshole put a bomb in his shoes, and we think nothing of taking off our shoes at the airport. And it's been 20 years. I know this is a tired analogy. I'm under no illusion that anything I'm saying here is new or insightful or hugely informed or particularly interesting, but I add my voice to the choir. Let him be forgotten. And let us together figure out what we can do or not do or whatever to make sure that he doesn't happen again. Y'all, I think I said at the beginning, this is not how I wanted to come back to the podcast. I hadn't realized it had been almost a goddamn year. Time flies when you're having fun, I guess. Oh my goodness, I'm sputtering. I don't. Reach out to your friends. Reach out to your loved ones. Touch base with your family, whether blood or chosen. You know who you thought of when I said family. Reach out to your family. Reach out to your husbands, your girlfriends, your wives, your boyfriends, your companions, your helpers, your mentors, your mentees, reach out. I think we're all going to need hands to hold for a while. And the beauty of this age in which we live, despite its numerous and goddamn horrifying problems, the one of the beauties of the age in which we live is that you are not limited in how many hands you can hold, or how many shoulders you can lean on, or how many shoulders you can provide to lean on. I'm going to try to be back more regularly, and I'm going to hope it doesn't take miscarriages of justice and catastrophic failures of everything to drive me back into the recording studio. Be kind. And if kindness eludes you, or if the situation does not call for kindness, do right. This episode has been long, and if you've stuck with me this far, I thank you. There are some people in particular that I want to convey thanks and love to, but I am not going to name any names here. I think I suspect you know. Some of you, yeah. Just everybody, just be kind. If you can. We can all be better. And y'all, I take care. Be safe. Stand against hate. 'Cause there's a lot of it out there. There's a lot. Please